In the words of K.L. Wang, rather than thinking of ourselves as guests, some of us who immigrated here came to understand that we should take full advantage of what this country has to offer. The gift of American citizenship, constitutional protections, the right to travel and express our thoughts freely, the freedom to shape our destiny. Alex Mark continued, but by the pages of history before us, we knew that those rights had not been universally enjoyed. We came to feel the need for a national organization, one of depth and strength, to speak up on behalf of all Chinese Americans. And so, in the fall of 1971, K.L. Wang and Alex Mark began to garner support of other visionaries, Chinese Americans who had been stirred by the civil rights movement of the 60s. The vision of forming a national civil rights organization took hold. The message was heard and gained momentum. By June 9, 1973, 112 Chinese Americans from throughout the nation gathered in Washington, D.C. for OCA's first convention. Bylaws and a constitution were hammered out. The Organization of Chinese Americans was born. The new organization early on tackled difficult issues and established itself as a national voice for the rights of Chinese Americans and all Americans. Fueled by a strong network of local chapters in the states, OCA began a successful campaign to address discriminatory acts that targeted Chinese Americans. Pekin, Illinois, the small town that became an early symbol of OCA's commitment to racial equality. The year was 1974. The popular Pekin High School basketball team had captured numerous state championships. The name of the team, the Pekin Chinks. OCA persuaded the governor of Illinois to take on the issue through the state's Human Rights Commission. The Associated Press reported, an organization has protested the use of the nickname. OCA proposed naming the team the Dragons, a respected symbol of divine peace and harmony. The power of persuasion, including the threat of a lawsuit by OCA, worked. The name Peking Dragons was born, and with it, OCA's signature in the Civil Rights Diaries. Over 50 years of civil rights activism has not turned the tide on crimes based on race. A report of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights concluded that anti-Asian sentiment is a national problem. June 19, 1982. Vincent Chin, a Chinese American, is savagely bludgeoned to death by two unemployed auto workers in Detroit who claimed they were out of work because of Japs like him. His killers never served a sentence. This travesty of justice was a turning point for the community. Muslim chaplain James Yee and immigrant David Wong were imprisoned for crimes they did not commit and later vindicated. Wen-Ho Lee was placed in solitary confinement, eventually exonerated, and apology extended. The victims are one too many, the possibility of future violence too real. For more than 35 years, OCA has played a leading role in pressing for better collection of data and rigorous prosecution, as well as the elimination of negative stereotypes in the media. The goal has always been to air positive stories, to educate all Americans, and improve the perceptions of Asian Pacific Americans. As the first Asian Pacific American organization headquartered in Washington, D.C., OCA became a voice for the voiceless and a presence for a community often referred to as the invisible minority. For 35 years, OCA has served the community in advancing the social, political, and economic well-being of Asian Pacific Americans in the United States. OCA has been tireless in its efforts to advocate for social justice, equal opportunity, and fair treatment. We have come a long way from our humble beginnings as an organization of and for Chinese Americans to one that is truly inclusive. Through its programming at both the local and national levels, OCA promotes civic participation, provides voter education, and strives to reduce racism, hate crimes, and stereotyping. Leadership development is an integral part of OCA's membership services. One of OCA's signature programs is the internship program that has been in existence for 2 decades, offering our youth unique opportunities to be involved in building communities and grassroots activism. OCA's entrepreneurial program is in place to enhance economic opportunities for the community's workforce. OCA has had years of experience advancing coalitions. Our Business Advisory Council has enabled us to form mutually beneficial partnerships with corporate America. Our partnerships with our colleagues and other organizations, locally and nationally, have proven to be effective models of advocacy. OCA has had a proud history of many accomplishments. We were there with the World War II Chinese American veterans to showcase the documentary We Served with Pride and meet with President Clinton to honor their service. We were there with President George Bush in the Oval Office to witness the official signing of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month in 1990. OCA responded to the failure to recognize the contributions of Asian Americans by leading a successful effort for the issuance of the U.S. postal stamps reflecting Asian American culture. We were there in Pomona, California, to unveil the first Lunar New Year stamp in 1993 and subsequent 11 stamps afterwards. And we were there to galvanize the community where negative images of Asian Americans were portrayed in the media. In September of 2006, OCA accomplished what was considered the impossible. OCA became the first Asian Pacific American organization to establish a national permanent presence in the nation's capital. With a capital campaign supported solely by its membership, OCA established the OCA National Center and put in motion the grandest vision of them all, a gathering place for Asian Pacific American organizations, sharing resources and collaborating on issues. As in the words of former Secretary of Transportation Norman Mineta, the OCA National Center on 1322 18th Street will become
the center of gravity for all of the Asian Pacific American youth.
Over the span of 35 years, OCA has worked hard to provide the Asian Pacific American community with a sense of permanence and roots in America. This is a legacy we are committed to leaving to our next generation. This is a legacy we hope will be cherished, one that will never be forgotten, and ensures America's promise becomes a promise for us all.